Well, dear students, in this lecture we will study about the classification of optically active or chiral compounds. See, the first category is compounds with a compounds with stereogenic carbon, right? Compounds with a stereogenic carbon. So again here we have one more new word. What is stereogenic? Stereogenic means if all four bonds of carbon are satisfied with four different atoms or group of atoms. So such type of carbon is called stereogenic carbon, right? So for example, if you take the example HCH3 and D. Suppose that this is given. So this is methyl, this is deuterium, this is hydrogen. So these three are different, but this is same as this hydrogen. So this carbon is not stereogenic carbon, not non-stereogenic. This is not a stereogenic carbon. Suppose that we have another example, C H D T and CH3. This is what? Hydrogen. This is deuterium. This is tritium, and this is methyl. See, in case of stereogenicity or stereogenic carbon, it hardly matters whether they are isotopes or not. If even they are isotopes, they are treated as a different groups. So definitely this carbon is stereogenic carbon. And stereogenic carbon are represented by star, right? Star, and on that, so this carbon is stereogenic, right? And remember, if a molecule has one stereogenic carbon, then the molecule is always chiral. Remember, this is very remarkable point, and you should always remember this. If there is one stereogenic carbon in any molecule, that molecule is always chiral. Chiral means it shows the optical activity. Shows the optical activity means that molecule, another meaning, that molecule can be resolved in D plus and L minus, right? Means if a molecule has one stereogenic carbon, then the molecule is always chiral, means it shows the optical activity. What other means you can resolve the two different isomers, dextro and levo, in different molecules, right? Similarly, some more examples we can do here. Suppose that this is CH3, this is C2H5, this is OH, and this is H. So this is stereogenic, right? So in this way, you can identify whether the molecule has stereogenic carbon or not. Similarly, suppose that we have another molecule like this, COH, H, OH, H. See, suppose that this is the carbon atom. One group is OH, one group is H, one group is COH, and one group is treated as a one group. So this is one group, this is other group, this is other, this is other. So this has a stereogenic carbon. But if you examine this carbon, OH is a different group than H, COH, three different, and for this carbon, this whole is treated as a group. So this is also stereogenic. Now this molecule has two stereogenic carbons. So this molecule have two stereogenic carbon, right? So the question arises that this molecule is chiral or not. Remember, if molecule has only one stereogenic carbon, then the molecule is always, I have written here, always chiral. But if any molecule have two or more than two stereogenic carbon, then the molecule may be chiral or may not be chiral. Remember, so the mere presence of stereogenic carbon is not the surety or not the confirmation that the molecule is chiral. So if molecule have two stereogenic carbon, any molecule have two stereogenic carbon, then the molecule may or may not chiral. Remember, if any molecule has two stereogenic carbon, the molecule may or may not be chiral. So how to decide? It depends on the orientation of groups and symmetry elements. So in this situation, you have to work out with molecule. You do some more operation on that molecule, and then you can conclude that okay, this molecule is chiral or not. So presence of stereogenic carbon is necessary for chirality, but it is not a sufficient condition for chirality. right? So now we will examine this molecule. This molecule is popularly known as tartaric acid. Tartaric acid, right? So we will examine this molecule, and then accordingly we will classify the isomers, right? And identify the isomers. See, COOH, COOH, OHH, OHH. See, if you pass an imaginary plane from here, what you get? This plane bisects this molecule into equal halves, and both are mirror image of each other. So if this is stereogenic, and this molecule has plane of symmetry. So since this molecule has plane of symmetry, then if you take this molecule and what to do, if you take this molecule and take the mirror image of this, means you reflect this molecule. So what you get? You get this type of structure, right? This type of structure. So in 3D, if you consider this molecule, so if you in 3D, if you do the operation on this molecule and you rotate this molecule through this axis by this 180 degree from here, you will get the same molecule as this first. So this is second, and after rotation with 180 degree, you will get the same structure as this. So this is equivalent to first structure, right? So after rotation of this 180 degree from this axis, this OH will go this side, and H will come this side, and without changing the position of COH, so you get the same structure as this. So these two molecules, see here, you have two methods. Either you just see the plane of symmetry and say, okay, since the plane of symmetry is there here in this molecule, so the molecule is achiral. Achiral means the molecule will not rotate the plane of plane polarized light. Achiral means have not or will not able to rotate the plane of plane polarized light. So if a molecule is or net rotation is 0. In other words, you can say the net rotation is 0. Suppose that molecule is rotating, but due to some or other reason, the net rotation is 0, then also this is achiral. So this molecule is achiral because it has no net rotation, right? So structure number 1 and 2, how they are related? So the structure number 1 and 2 are same molecule, right? So if you examine in this molecule, closely examine this molecule, suppose that I am just giving you a theoretical idea. Suppose that this molecule, this rotates the plane polarized light. This part of this molecule rotates this plane polarized light plane like this. So I am here showing from H to OS. So from here H to OS, this will show like this. And you know OH, OH, H, H, COH, COH, the groups are equivalent. So if this half portion of this molecule rotates the plane polarized light is counterclockwise, then half portion clockwise, so the net rotation is zero. So structure number 1 and 2, they are achiral because the net rotation is zero. Why net rotation is zero? Why? The answer is the rotation is internally compensated. Internally compensated. See, half molecule clock and half molecule counterclock. So the rotation is internally compensated, and such molecules which are achiral means optically inactive due to internal compensation are said to be mesocompounds. So what are mesocompounds? Mesocompounds are optically inactive, but this optical inactivity is due to the internal compensation. One more situation, there is optically inactive, means achiral mixture we are getting, that is the racemic mixture, when you have taken 50 and 50% dextro and levo form. So the compound 1 which is shown, and what is the relation between 1 and 2? They are same molecule, and these stereoisomers are known as mesoisomer. So mesoisomer is a kind of stereoisomer in which optical activity is zero due to internal compensation. Means the molecule has symmetry, half portion of molecule rotates clockwise, half portion rotates counterclockwise. So this situation arises only when a molecule has more than one stereogenic carbon and the substituents are same. Only then you can get this kind of situation. Now, one other orientation of this molecule is possible. COOH, see here, COOH, COOH, OH, H, HOH, right? You have two stereogenic center. Now, there is no plane of symmetry in this molecule. Suppose that you have passed this imaginary plane. Molecule is bisected two parts, but both parts are not mirror image of each other, because mirror image of OH is not H. Mirror image of H is not OH. So there is no plane of symmetry. So if you take the mirror image of this, COOH, you get the OH here, OH here, right? Now, if you try to see, this is structure number 3 and this is structure number 4. So, if you pass an axis from here and if you rotate this by 180 degree, so you won't get the same structure as structure number 3, right? So in this way, you can say, okay, this is not identical, I mean similar structures, right? So these two, since they do not have planar symmetry, these two structures, and the mirror image is non-superposable. See, if you put in the previous clip, I have shown you, you have to take this molecule and superimpose this carbon with this carbon. So if you superimpose this carbon with this carbon, OH is coming here, H is coming here, H is coming here, OH is coming here. So there is no complete COH is superimposed by COH, but there is no complete superimposability. So these two are second and third molecules, third and fourth molecules are chiral one relation, right? Means they have ability to rotate the plane of plane polarized light. Any other relation? Since their mirror images are non-superimposable, so third and fourth are enantiomers, right? So there is two kind of relations, third and fourth bear here. Both are chiral and both are different molecules, both have different behavior towards plane polarized light. Suppose that we are considering the rotation from H to OH, so from H to OH this rotation, and from H to OH this rotation, from H to OH this rotation, from H to OH this rotation. So in this way, these two molecules are different, they have different properties, they have different behavior towards plane polarized light. So they are enantiomers, they are chiral, they have all physical properties same, only one behavior is different, that is behavior towards plane polarized light. So this is the first classification of optically active or chiral compounds in which there is a stereogenic carbon, means carbon with 4 different groups. Now, and I will discuss in the upcoming clips detailed theoretical method how to identify enantiomers, how to identify these same molecule, how to identify diastereomers, right? By using some theoretical concept. So here you should develop your fundamental concept, definitions, and what technical terms, keywords, like what are chiral molecules, what is racemic mixture, what are meso compounds, and in the end of this topic, I will give you some theoretical method through which you can easily identify whether the given molecules are enantiomers of each other, whether they are diastereomers of each other. One more relation in the next we can drive here. See, there is no mirror relation between 1 and 3 and 1 and 4 because you cannot get the mirror image. If you take mirror image of first, you cannot get 3 or 4. So there is no mirror relation between 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 2 and 1 and 2 are identical. So 1, 2, 1, 3 and 1, 4 are diastereomers. Remember, diastereomers. What are diastereomers? No mirror relation. No mirror relation. right? No mirror relation. So they are bad stereomers. And what is the relation between 3 and 4? They are enantiomers because they are mirror image and their mirror image is non-superposable, right? Now come to the next category, number 2, and the number 2 is compounds with other number 2 compounds with other quadrivalent stereogenic atoms. Stereogenic atoms. Quadrivalent means tetravalent. For example, if you take quaternary ammonium hydroxide R1, R2, R3, R4 plus. So all four groups are different here. See, here this is R1, this is R2, this is R3, this is R4. So similar compounds are also stereogenic atoms, right? So, and if there is one stereogenic molecule is always chiral, means show the optical activity. So this is one kind. Another example you can take as double bond O, double bond O, O R, and OPH. So definitely in this situation, there is one negative charge will come, and I have put it here. Basically, this negative charge will come on this. Okay, is this molecule is have stereogenic atom? No, sulfur is not stereogenic because all the oxygens are same. But if we take this is isotope 16, this is 17, and this is 18, right? And this group maybe this alone, no problem. Or we can say suppose that not this 16, this 17, and this 18. Okay. Now see this this oxygen isotope 17, this oxygen isotope 18. So these two groups are different. Here this is OR group, normal isotope, and here this is also normal isotope 16. This may be 16 because 16 in default there is no need to write the 16. So but these two groups are different. PHO and RO, these two are different. So definitely this sulfur is treated as a stereogenic atom. So in this way you may find other atoms, other tetravalent atoms like germanium, like tin, like lead. All these are compounds without carbon and tetravalent, and they can show the chiralism. One more example of nitrogen, because I am taking those examples which are frequently present in your organic chemistry, like this R1, R2, R3. So see, this is R1, this is R3, this is R2, and this is O. So all are different. So this is also stereogenic nitrogen. So these are the different uh, group of compounds, organic compounds, where uh, central atom or stereogenic atom is not carbon, right? You can take silicon as well. This is also tetravalent. CH3, C2H5, H, and C3H7. So what you are getting here, all four groups are different. So it is also stereogenic, right? Similarly, you take germanium, and you can take phosphorus as well. No problem. Phosphorus, P double bond O, and OR1, OR2, and NH2. Suppose that this compound is there, OR1 and OR2 are different group, NH2 and O. These are different. So this is also stereogenic. So such type of compounds are also there in which stereogenic atom is not carbon. Now the third category is compounds with tervalent stereogenic atom. Compounds with tervalent stereogenic atom. So the popular example of this category is nitrogen, right? Popular example of this category is nitrogen. Suppose that the nitrogen is there, X, Y, and Z. See here, X, Y, and Z, and one group we are treating this lone pair. So it is equivalent to tetravalent carbon, but actual valence is 3 here. So this nitrogen is also stereogenic. But there is one problem with this type of compounds, that they are always in this flipping mode, X, Y, and Z, right? So what could be the result of this flipping? So due to this flipping, we cannot isolate the enantiomers at room temperature. So at room temperature, we cannot isolate dextro and levo or enantiomers from each other, right? But if we restrict this flipping by placing this nitrogen with bulkier groups, like if we take X, Y, Z are so bulkier, or if we track this in a ring structure, right? So it might be possible that we can isolate them. So if we take example like this, NCl, right, and H and Me. Suppose that this is given. So one lone pair is there. So one group is chlorine. Other group you can consider this. Third group you can consider this. And fourth group is this. So this is stereogenic. And here, see, this carbon is also stereogenic because, see, how carbon is stereogenic? Hydrogen is there, one group, methyl is there, second group, and this carbon is there, third group, and this nitrogen is there, fourth group. So here you have two stereogenic atoms. One is carbon and other is nitrogen, right? So in this situation, you can isolate the enantiomer due to this nitrogen, right? So N N will come this side actually, mirror image. MEHCl. So these two are non-interconvertible, and thus resolvable. Resolvable into D plus L minus. So you can resolve them in a D plus and L minus. So this is the third type of compounds having stereogenic atom. Now the fourth category, this is very interesting. Restricted rotation giving rise to perpendicular plane dissymmetry, perpendicular dissymmetric plane, perpendicular dissymmetric plane. Symmetric plane. So in this category, we have two or three class of compounds: biphenyls, allenes, and spirenes. So these are very simple. As in the geometrical isomerism, I have explained you that biphenyls, allenes, and spirenes, where there is a planarity, the molecule will go to the geometrical isomerism. Where there is non-planarity, the molecule will go to the optical isomerism. So first case we are taking here, that is biphenyl. So in case of biphenyl, suppose that you have this structure and this structure. See here, if hydrogen is there, so this carbon sigma bond are always in free rotation. So these two rings are freely move in either direction, anywhere, and there is no problem. You cannot get restricted rotation. But when you increase the size of this ortho substance in biphenyls, what will happen? A, B, B or BA like this, or in any way, no problem. Whether A is there, no problem. Suppose that the size is bigger for A and B. Then what will happen? All of you are already knowing that if two non-bonded groups come close to each other, then they offer steric repulsion. Steric repulsion. What the cause of this steric repulsion? The cause of this steric repulsion is the energy of molecule will increase. Then what the molecule will do? The molecule try to adopt that conformation in which the energy is minimum. Right? So how this molecule can decrease its energy? See, if this benzene and this benzene, the copolarity will lost if one ring is like this and other is like this, perpendicular, like this, right? So suppose that two rings are like this. Suppose that one benzene ring is this or this, and other benzene ring plane is like this. See this. Then one substituent goes like this, other is below, and one A is here, one B is here. So they are at the maximum distance. Energy is minimum. So molecule can adopt this kind of orientation. So to decrease the energy, molecule rotate itself and bring in a such position that the energy is minimum. So now how this will happen? Suppose that this is on the plane A and B. Now this molecule will go like so this you can see like this, and this is like this, right? And here B and A. Now if this plane of this is this is the plane of this ring, then the plane of this ring is like this, right? Like this. And when you take the mirror image of this, the mirror image, if you put mirror here, so I'm drawing the mirror plane here. So this plane will come this side, and this plane will go to this side, like this, right? So this is called what? This is called restricted rotation give rise to perpendicular dissymmetric plane. So these two planes which are perpendicular and which make the molecule chiral. So this molecule is chiral. So what is the condition? A should not equal to B, and the molecule is chiral, means they are enantiomers. And you can resolve this molecule into isomers. You can resolve in D plus and L minus. Means this molecule will show optical activity. The similar condition will come with what? So what is the condition here? A should not equal to B, and size of A and B should be large enough so that they offer the restricted rotation.